Welcome to the podcast.
This is our first video podcast. We've done Instagram Live or we've done Facebook Live, but this is our first proper, we've recorded this one.
Hanging with the Hegartys live
Yeah.
to an audience of 0.
It won't be live whenever you put it out on Facebook though.
No, it'll go straight out to the people,
The people.
the worshippers. So I've got
this? Sorry, I've got a cold by the way too. I'm going to be
that's fine.
on cue. Here's a cough. How
Let me
Christmas
see.
does this look with our wee tree and my tartan top?
Do you like it?
Oh my god, do you know that thing I told you about recently? I saw on Twitter and it was like every Hallmark or like sort of, Christmas film ever made, and in the front cover there was like 50 of them and it showed all the front covers in a row, and it was like a white couple and like a white heterosexual couple, one of them wearing green and one of them wearing red, and we're literally that right now. We're so basic.
Yeah. It's Christmassy though, isn't it? I think we both probably look quite Christmassy with the green and the red, and especially you with the tartan. You've OD'd on tartan recently, haven't you? This December.
Yeah. And I invited tartan into the house.
Yeah. It's been
it brought all its mates.
It's been welcomed with half an open arm.
Yeah. What's this about?
So I learned a Christmas tune. I'm gonna play it for you to start the podcast off.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Is it a Christmas tune I'll know?
Yeah, of course you will.
I bet you might have made up your own.
No, this is
Okay.
it's one you already know. So here we go.
Well done. Long time you learn that.
About an hour.
Oh.
I'll probably never use it for anything other than right there now.
But you know what? A couple months ago, I taught myself how to play "We Are the Champions" by Queen. 1,000 Years, Christina Perri. 4 or 5 other songs. No memory of them. Like I had them down pat.
I know we went mad on the keyboard, didn't we, for about a month, 2 months.
But it's like
Properly learning stuff, and just for what? For nothing.
It's the
It's
story of
fun,
my
eh?
life.
I know.
Do you like I want more out of life, so I try and think of something to do, and then like something extra that'll maybe add to my skill set, and I'm convinced that it'll be a permanent fixture and it lasts a couple of weeks. It's like this will probably not last too long.
Do you think so?
No.
We start the podcast officially.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yo, it's the old and Sean, back with the podcast and we get it done, am I right? And we about to go live with the big RD, so yo, connect your ears to the big headphones, brand new segments, jokes and drugs. Yet you one from Derry, it's hard to be illegal in Maccaberry. She owns a cat there, it can't catch ya, put the hole you want like bam, bam, bam. He's so funny, eggs be running, he make it smileys from County Danny. Gal, jump over your wall like a free fall, make a coffee or tea. She was on the BINTM and he was on the IGT. It's time for the podcast. It's time for the podcast. It's time for the podcast. Oh, it's time for the podcast. It's time for the podcast. It's time for the podcast. Oh.
So anyone who's on Instagram Live can't hear any of this?
Well, download the podcast or watch it tonight on Facebook and.
Yeah, there's fun jingles that Sean has made, and every time I listen to it, I hear Sean new. Like there now, I hear it was all jump over your wall, free fall or something. What was it?
Jump over your wall like a free fall. If it's coffee or tea, she was on the BINTM and he was on the AGT.
It's so funny. It's really good.
BINTM is obviously Britain and Ireland's Next Top Model, and AGT is obviously Ireland's Got Talent.
Which the year after I was in Britain and Ireland's Next Top Model, the name went back to Britain's Next Top Model because they obviously went, we
Fuck the
found some
Irish,
shite in Ireland last year. Let's just go back to calling it Britain's Next Top Model.
Do you know what's weird too? That see with Brexit, should it not be called UKexit? Because obviously Britain is England, Scotland and Wales, whereas the United Kingdom is Northern Ireland, whereas it's mostly about Northern Ireland over everybody
because of
else.
the border. I mean, you should bring that up. Tweet someone about it.
Bring it up where? Parliament?
If anyone turns up.
Just go down to Stormont with a placard.
They're not there either. Was that done?
You alright?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to get straight into things. Normally we promote our gigs at the end, but since we've got like an audience and stuff at the start,
we hope we don't know what's going on behind.
We want to capitalise. Oh, we have an audience. Don't worry about that. Then let's get straight into gigs. We've got 2 gigs that we're doing.
Do you not
together.
have
I do indeed. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh,
so
I'm
going to play it.
Sean's the Jingle King. I'm sorry, anybody on Instagram Live, you can't hear this.
Just download the podcast and hear all the jingles.
The jingles are probably the highlight.
Or YouTube or Facebook that we're going to be putting it on tonight.
Is this going on YouTube as well? There we go.
Alright, so let's do gigs.
Yeah. Gigs. You should now have to repeat what that was for anyone on Instagram.
Gigs. What do you call the song?
I'll do the music and you do. I'll go.
Gigs. No, you did it wrong.
How did it?
Because you're supposed to go.
Gigs. That's what it sounds like.
That was horrible. Absolutely horrific.
That's why you make the jingles and I don't.
I know.
Right.
So tomorrow night we are in the Maiden City.
Which is
isn't that what it's called? The
yeah.
Maiden City.
We're in Derry on Thursday the
6th
of December, which upon recording of this is tomorrow night. And obviously it's live on Instagram, so tomorrow night. We're both in Derry in Brickwork, also known as Laughter in the Loft.
Yeah, call it what you want.
If you go on the Facebook page Comedy Live NW, which means Northwest, all the information's on there. But I'm opening, Sean's headlining, and there's 3 or 4 other comedians on too, isn't it?
Terry McHugh, I think's on, and Peter E. Davidson. And
on.
as far as I know, there's someone else on as well, but
yeah, there's a few other people on.
Their name.
So if you're in Derry,
I like calling it Londondery. I like calling it that. I think it's a real
sounds like you're saying your laundry.
I know. I think it's a very sort of posh term for Londonderry.
Like when people say Craig Avon.
Yeah. Lurgoyne.
Also this Saturday I'm gigging in the Black Box. I think it's around 3:30.
Oh, are you doing that? This Saturday?
Kill Your Darlings.
What time's that at?
3 or 3:30, I think.
Right.
You can look on Facebook, Kill Your Darlings, and it's more like a collection of comedians that would do 7 to 10 minutes each of new material. That sort of get up. But if you're about the town on Saturday afternoon and the Christmas shopping's getting too much for you, take a load off. Have a wank in the toilets. No. Just come and watch some comedy.
Don't excuse the pun.
No, don't excuse the pun.
Come and then watch some comedy.
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
But do you not think Christmas shopping has been just... It's horrific? So a few years ago it was like, oh, everybody's going online and no one's supporting local businesses, whereas we've been to Belfast twice and couldn't get parked and had to come home.
It's a mixture of things, though, because it's a mixture of the town being mental, that's grand, and also human beings' ability to be patient and wait and like be dead on to other people has diminished. Like now we're like everything's so instant. It's like being in traffic to get into a city centre or standing in a queue to pay. You're like, no, why would I do that when I can put it in my basket and check out online in 30 seconds, you know?
I know.
So
get it delivered to the house for free.
Yeah, that's what, well, not if fucking love an NI, everyone charges you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's the thing, like, so I think it's down to just lack of patience and all too.
Yeah, and the shops are a nightmare. It's like children playing snooker, isn't it?
Why is that a nightmare?
The queues are massive.
Very good. But the shops are shit too. And I know it's our fault, it's catch-22 because we buy everything online like most people do, you know.
We went shopping about a month ago and there was like 3 different shops and we went in going, we saw this online, where do we get it? And they said online. You can't get it in the shop. But speaking of Belfast anyway, we're actually in Belfast next Thursday night, which is the other gig that we wanted to plug.
We'll do another one next week.
But if you know what I mean, someone could get hit by a bus this week and they don't get out of hospital till next Thursday evening. Out of the Royal.
And the first thing they'll want to do.
What's on? Pug Ugly's Comedy Club, 8:30.
And that's true.
Me, you, Dave Elliott. So that should be a good one.
Yeah, which is the same setup. So I'm opening, Dave's MC and Sean's headlining. So it's the same.
That's the one as well that I was hoping to get that filmed. So if there are any filmmakers out there or anybody who just owns a camera and fancies coming down, holding it in front of me. I know, but I was looking at proper filmed. Do you know what I mean?
So can I just point out that Sean's birthday was last week, and I got him this camera that we're using right now, which is a very good camera for for his birthday. And now he's just shitting all over it by going, "I want a proper film.
No,
I want it to be properly filmed.
I'm going to be on stage. So who's going to film it?
It's pressing a button.
It's a Protestant button.
It's Pressing a button.
Right.
It's pressing buttons will do it itself.
No, but I want someone who's going to come and properly edit it and stuff after, and properly film it and set up lighting, and I want it properly recorded so that I can use it for something, not just your run of the mill. Like when you see people doing a comedy set and all you hear is their dickhead friend who's filming it just pissing themselves laughing at every single joke, whether it's funny or not. Was that why you didn't laugh at any of the times you filmed my set? Yeah, that's the only reason. No, your stuff's great. I really enjoy seeing you live as well. I feel like you get better every time you see you as well, because you can tell how much you develop and how much you put into it.
Thanks very much.
It's enjoyable to watch. It's
been a couple of weeks since I did my last gig, and I know what sounds like a penance if you go into mass. Forgive me, Father, if I have sinned. It's been a few weeks since my last gig. But it's a wee joke for all the takes out there. But I have been away filming a lot in Galway over the past month as well, so I haven't had the chance to do any stand-up, and I'd really hope to do some down there, because there's like the Ocean doing a few great comedy clubs, but I just didn't get the time. I was down and up in no time, do you know what I mean? So.
But hey, what are you filming at the minute? What were you filming?
Oh, is it a film? What do you mean?
That was just a way in for you to tell
people
about the film.
But you have a jingle?
No, that's...
Oh, that's a different thing.
When are you on TV?
Oh, yes, so I was doing a film called Finky. In Galway, which is an Irish language feature film, and for TG Cahir, and has the most mental storyline. But it's like one of those wacky, crazy, like really fun films, and probably one of the easiest acting roles I've ever had, despite having to obviously speak Irish in it, which isn't particularly easy. But it was very straightforward part. Do you know what I mean? It was just like singing a few songs in a band and having a great time. So it was quite easy.
And Dara Devani is Finky?
Dara Devani plays the lead, who was in a film, Penance, that I did a few years ago as well. Yeah, so it was great fun.
I said really as well that you obviously didn't do this, but I says that the owner should contact the people who have made the film and tell them that there should be like a follow-up movie where he comes up near Bangor, and you could call it Finky Goes to Hollywood. But then you're completely oblivious. Even now, you're looking at me like, what does that mean?
No, I know, because of the other film. Because of your... No, I think we've had this conversation. I got confused with Freddie Got Fingered.
There's a band called Frankie...
Oh, Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Yeah. Why do I keep thinking about Freddie Got Fingered?
I don't know.
Is that a film?
Yeah.
Right,
Tom Green.
Who?
Tom Green.
Right, okay.
Or Tom Gray if you're colourblind.
That's not how colourblindness works.
Don't care. I'm not colourblind. Really don't care.
I looked it up before. No, I didn't look it up. I think I came across it. It's not like I'm really interested in colourblindness. And it was like, it showed you how people see things that are colourblind. Yeah. And it's like, they don't see certain colours, but they don't see everything as black and white. They're not walking around in a black and white movie. You know what I mean? It's like all, say, greens and reds are all... shitter greens and like reds are all green. Do you know what I mean? Like they can see some colours, but they just don't recognise the difference between colours. They can't see vibrancy, and there's lots of different types of colour blindness, and it's actually very common. And you can get those glasses now that you put on that you can see things. Have you ever seen that video of them giving it to the old man? Yeah. And he cries his eyes out because he cries all the colour out of them. He can't see anything again. He cries his eyes out because it's the first time in his life that he's maybe looked at his grandchildren and seen. He's realised that they weren't white.
Ah, you're black. Yeah. But there was a fella that we used to play indoor football with, such a great lad, and we found out one week that he was colourblind, and I says to them, because him and like 4 or 5 of his mates all went, but I didn't know him very well, and I says, like, Joe, I'd happily do a fundraiser for this fella, like a comedy gig, and all the money raised would go to him getting a pair of those special glasses, because apparently they're quite expensive.
When was this?
This was about 3 years ago. Okay. And then the next week at football, he came in and he goes, "Here, lads, this is my last week. I'm moving to Australia." And I was all right, that'll do. Don't tell him. Say nothing, lads. Just
we're not posting him his glasses.
Let him go on to Australia there with his crap eyes.
Very good.
But if you fancy a job in Specsavers, let me know. I have contacts.
I knew the punch on that one.
I know. But it wasn't for you. It was for everybody else.
I do think it's a good joke, though.
Thank you. Laugh then if you do.
Do you want to do...
Makes it better.
Accent Wars?
Do you want to?
So we have a game called Accent Wars. And, of course, there's a jingle. Sorry, Instagram Live. You won't hear it.
Are we ready for this?
Yeah.
Here we go. Accent Wars.
Sean versus Diana in Accent Wars.
It's great that we got him to do that voice for us, wasn't it?
It's basically the guy
so
from...
professional. X Factor?
It's not him. It's Sean. Well,
Radian.
Yeah.
What's the other? Rachel.
Adadeji!
Rachel Adadeji. What a name.
And then Dave Elliott used to, whenever I used to live with Dave Elliott, a comedian who runs Pug Uglies, he used to go, Big Ella Henderson! Because she was like, this is probably my height, but yeah, that was funny. So we have our red festive cup.
So basically what we're going to do here is you've written different accents or different parts of the world, I imagine, not just England.
Not even all over the world.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we're going to draw them out, and the owner's going to tell you whereabouts on an atlas that they are.
No, I'm not, because geography is not my
that.
friend. I did say, though, and do you know what? I made it 30 before 30, and I should have written on it, learn where at least 5 countries are before you're 30, because I don't know where anything is at all on the map. It's mad, because I am, like, Rayman smart as well.
I know. But then what happened yesterday? We were parking.
I went for a meeting yesterday in Belfast, and I parked the car, but we use the parking app, which is great, because you can just get out of the car and turn
Park
the app
Mobile.
on.
Yeah, Park Mobile, it's great. Works all over Northern Ireland.
And I parked the car, left, went for a meeting, and I came back an hour and a half later. But as I walked out of Dean's after my meeting, I literally went, I didn't turn that app on. So I had a parking fine. And do you know what was so annoying? I'd only got the parking fine 7 minutes before I got to the car.
No way.
Yeah. So if I just didn't go for that shit, I'd have got there quicker.
Rain Man. Right. I'm about to pick
So,
my accent.
yeah. So
Jesus,
we
so
read
long.
out each of our accents. We read out Donald Trump's last tweet. What did you get?
Have you added like special effects to these?
Had a bit of fun. What did you do?
An angry Texan with a lisp
Lovely.
or lisp.
Yeah.
You should have wrote L-I-T-H-P. That would have been funnier.
With oh, aye.
An angry Texan with a lisp. Right, do you want to
Yeah.
get yours out as well?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. So mine's is oh God.
What have you got?
A Mexican drug lord.
All right. Mexican and a Texan. Are they all rhyming or just these?
Oh, Donald Trump has done 2 new tweets since we started.
So see. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to read out these in our accents to Donald Trump's latest tweet. Now, his latest tweet is just 1 line, so we'll do the one below that.
No, just do the last one. That's the part of the game.
Do you think so?
The one before is like a paragraph about natural gas.
We should have done the one China does not want tariffs. It would have been good to do the lisp.
I dropped mine now.
An
I know
angry
it's Mexican
Texan.
drug lord, yeah.
An angry Texan with a lisp. Is that what? An angry?
Angry
Angry.
Texan with a lisp. That Texas.
It's almost like Hegarty Partners. That kind of
Yeah.
accent, isn't it?
That last, yeah, it wasn't.
Okay, are we ready for this?
Yeah, you ready to go?
China had agreed to start immediately buying U.S. products at business.
That's good. That's
Is that
a
right?
good cartoon, yeah.
It does. It sounds like Donald Duck, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's good. My Mexican drug lord. They're not going French. No, hold on, that's French. What do you call your
Mexican.
man from Narcos?
Mr. Narco,
No, if I just say his name, it'll get me on it.
Tony Soprano,
I've never seen it.
No, you've made me think New York Italian now.
Tony Montana.
Not you're going New York Italian. Stop it.
Tony Montana? Is it not?
No,
No.
it's not.
Scarface.
What do you call your man from Narcos? I'm gonna have to Google it for I do my.
But what? Why are you going to like get into his body like a proper impressionist?
Okay.
Jimmy Dornan.
China had agreed to start immediately. Am I going French?
That's Italian.
Oh, Mexico, China had. Why did I write Mexican?
1-0. Will
Yeah,
I
you can have that one.
Will I just take that one?
Shouldn't put them back in. I hate that. Do you know what that there's like?
What?
Eating a quality street and putting the wrapper back in.
Yeah, but we're only going to do this game. Are you going to continue this every week?
I've written some class ones. Do you want to hear them?
No, not if we're going to do more.
That there's the one I didn't want, and there's another one I don't want too because I'm gonna lose a point.
Do you hold my mic 2 seconds?
Okay. I'm gonna master that one and then come back next week and really do it. This is how long it takes me to get the acting rules because if I have to do any accent but dairy, it takes me 3 months.
1-0.
Well done.
If it was in
That's
Irish,
not
you
true,
could
by
have
the way,
read
for
it out.
potential employees. That's not true.
What's not true?
That takes me 3 months to master any accent.
Oh, yeah. I just help her, don't I? I help you with them.
Don't look at my computer.
I didn't look at anything.
It's not a computer, it's a laptop. Jeez.
Is this another surprise?
Just dick pics from lots of guys.
Is this a surprise birthday treat that you've got for me? Another surprise?
No.
It's a great segue, though, straight into...
Yeah, because I did have a surprise birthday for Sean last week, which was a proper surprise.
It was. What we do, right? Maybe every fortnight, myself, Diona, my brother, and his now fiance.
Yeah, they got engaged too. Yeah.
They got engaged last week, and they live 2 doors down from us. So basically, what we usually do is, if there's ever a surprise for one of us,
yeah,
you open the door and it's just the 3 of them
3.
sitting. You know, so it's just 3 people sitting, going surprise, and there's like a banner up, and it's the same banner that we've used for like all my kids' birthdays for the past 3 or 4 years.
It's blue and it says happy birthday on it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So that's what I was fully expecting. So it was weird to sort of... I did the Christmas light switch on last week in Banbridge. And when I came back, it was like half 9, 10 o'clock. By the way, for the first time in the 3 weeks that I've done that, I was told I could leave early. Did you put a wee text in or anything? No. Did you? No? That wasn't part of it?
No, but that was... I should have took ownership of that, but it would only come out in the end.
Wait.
That's what she said. It's too long.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
But I had left. I was in Galway filming, and actually it starts earlier on in the week because a few days before was our wedding anniversary, and Sean had surprised me with tickets to go to London and see Mamma Mia in the West End because I absolutely love Mamma Mia. But you had to let me know a few days before because he'd actually booked them. He'd booked our trip to come back on a day that I was supposed to be in Galway filming. So then we had to change our flights and all the rest of it to come back a day early. But then because of the storm down south, it turns out I didn't actually have to be back a day early. And it turns out that I ended up having to film on the day of Sean's surprise party, which then ended up a nightmare for me. But I couldn't express that nightmare to Sean because you didn't know that you were having a surprise party. So I went to Galway anyway, but arranged with the production company that I would be allowed to go half day, which was brilliant because they got all my stuff done early and that was happy days. But I remember like talking to you and pretending that I was still in Galway and still on set, whereas actually I had wrapped, I was packing my stuff in my hotel room and I was leaving, and you know, you thought I'd be there for a couple more hours. So whenever I was driving through Banbridge, you were there, like you had maybe just arrived. So I was driving, hoping you didn't recognise the car and having to go around the town because it was all closed off for the Christmas light celebrations. It was like a proper Mission Impossible. Like it was, I felt like 007, which I know was a different film, but that's what it felt like. And then whenever I got home, you were texting me, and I was pretending that I was still in Galway or just leaving Galway, maybe. So then it became like a proper surprise then.
But it was great. So I came home, and as soon as I closed the front door, like all the doors downstairs were closed, and Diona was like, "Sean, Alexa's not working. Come down and help me, will you?" And I was like, "All right, here we go. The 3 of them are going to be sitting around the table."
See, I was toying with whether to shout something from the kitchen or throw my house coat on over my clothes and go out to the hallway. But so the first people to arrive were my mum and dad, and I told them, should I like shout from the kitchen and be like, "Oh, Sean, go and help me with this," or else. But then I was thinking, if all the doors in the house is closed downstairs, you're going to be thinking, why? And I told my daddy, or should I just throw on my house coat and go out? But then I've got all my makeup and hair done, and it'll be like, Sean was standing there, be like, "Why have you a full face of makeup and your hair all done?" And my daddy was like, "Maybe you think he's getting the ride." And I was like, "Daddy, don't say that to me. I'm so embarrassed."
Brilliant.
But turns out you weren't getting the ride. You were just getting a party.
It'd be dark anyway, so what? Doesn't matter what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Plus, I always think of somebody else. But when I came in, it was like the door was closed, and all you had to do was even say nothing, and I would have opened the door.
No, but I didn't want you going into the living room because I had drinks and snacks set up in the living room.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was great though. I came in and like my mates and stuff were here. Your brother and his wife came down from Belfast. Your brother's allergic to cats, so he's been in our house like twice.
He 3 antihistamines on him.
Since he's been born.
And sat near the door.
Yeah. Our mate Daryl was here. Your mum and dad. I'm pointing to like where everyone I remember.
I know,
sitting.
yeah. No, but it was a great night, and like, you know, plenty of people
great.
were here, and it was really good fun. And I had arranged with we live in a semi-detached house, so we have neighbours like attached to our house. So they're not attached to our house, but they live in the house attached. And I had went
they
under
don't
them
look at photos at our house like every year, going like, oh, why are we not living there? Like they're attached. Don't worry about it.
I didn't get it. I get it now. And then I had went down to them.
That's what she said.
About a week before, Sean's playing That's What She Said, and said to them, "Oh, here, I'm going to be having a surprise party for my husband, but just obviously don't mention to him if you see him. But we're going to be noisy. Well, if it's noisy, I apologise in advance, but come on and say that's like a real sneaky way of getting out of being noisy too, because." Then if you're really noisy, they can go, but they told us they were going to be.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? So you can still be just as
noisy.
noisy.
It's more respectful, isn't it?
Well, you're going to be just as noisy, but you've just told them. It's like going to somebody, here, I'm going to punch you, right? You can't say, no, because I've told you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to punch you, It's like, oh, they told me they were going to punch me.
That's like, as well, it's like going, here, we're having a party next door, and they're like, all right, and then you're like, so we might be noisy. You're not invited, but we might be noisy. Because remember, I got a phone call one time from a comedian, Neil Dugan, who's great. And he phoned me and he goes, Sean, you do podcasts and stuff, don't you? And I was like, yeah, of course. Obviously you listen to them every week, Neil. And he was like, yeah, well, do you know, what do you call them? It's good, but it's not right. Come on. What do you call
met him in Edinburgh?
Grey hair. It's good, but it's not right.
Oh.
You're back in the game. Are you Googling it? But he said his name, and I was like, oh, right, where's this going? And he said, see, I do an impression of him too. I go, this is my impression of...
Roy Walker, and it didn't come up. It didn't come up. I didn't even get there yet.
What'd you say? It didn't come up?
I wrote in...
That's what she said?
That's what she
right,
said.
So,
yeah, so he says, Roy Walker, I'm good friends with him, and I was chatting to him last week, and basically he has hundreds of stories of like being on the road, being a stand-up comedian, being a presenter, a host, and I think it would make for a really good podcast. And I was like, oh, right. So he's looking, me to do a podcast with Roy Walker, or me, him, and Roy Walker, and sort of set up this weekly thing.
Yeah.
And he goes, so I was just wondering, with you doing podcasts and stuff, what equipment do you use to record podcasts? And that was it. And I was like,
kicking the balls.
All right, cheers, Neil. No worries. Tell him I said hello, and that was it. Just went about my day again.
I had the same thing happen to me, and I told actually the story to somebody I was in a meeting with yesterday, and it was like 7 or 8 years ago, maybe no, actually it was about 7 years ago, and it was the first series of Monumental was being made by Green Ink. And at this stage I had no TV credits or anything, I hadn't done anything, so but anyway, I was doing live comedy sketches with FNT, and somebody from Green Ink rang me and was like, which is the production company that made Monumental, which was a panel show, a comedy panel show on BBC NI. And they rang me and they were all, how you doing? And like, listen, obviously, like, we know you from FNT, we've come to see the show and we've seen you in your comedy sketches and all, and we're putting together panels for the pilot episode recording of Monumental, and we really need a funny female. So was there anyone you could recommend to us? And I was like...
That's brutal.
That is literally like, is there anyone you can recommend to us? And I was like, and then I did, and then a girl I know did it.
That's shite. What can you do?
I know. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go get some TV credits and I'll ring you back.
Yeah.
And
Look
then
at you
care.
now.
Look at me now.
Many years down the line? 4?
Live on Facebook.
Live on Facebook. You have to go through 7 different people just to get to you.
I know.